Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. 200 years ago, a Jewish lawyer called Herschel Levi converted from the Jewish religion to Christianity and became a member of the Evangelical Church of Prussia. You might be saying, well, that's a good thing, yes? Actually, it wasn't. It was something that was going to end up being indirectly responsible for the deaths of hundreds of millions of people. Herschel Levi, he was a lawyer, he was Jewish, his father was actually a rabbi, but he lived in the Rhineland. And when he started practicing law, there was actually a law in place that said Jews could not become lawyers. But the French, who governed the Rhineland, did not enforce that law. So Herschel Levi was able to keep on practicing as a Jewish lawyer. But after Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo, the Rhineland came under Prussian control rather than French control. And the Prussians decided to enforce the law that forbade Jews to become lawyers. And so Herschel Levi had to face up to the fact that as a rabbi's son and as a Jew, if he held on to his faith, he would be cut off from the legal profession. He appealed against the decision and everything else, but didn't get anywhere with it. And so that's why he converted to Christianity. Not because he was convinced about that Jesus was the Son of God, not because of any conviction about the resurrection or any Christian doctrine, no faith in Jesus at all, just a tactical decision to be able to practice as a lawyer because of an unfair and an unjust sectarian discriminatory law. He also changed his name. Herschel Levi just sounded a little bit too Jewish. So he changed his name to Heinrich Marx. His wife was also baptized as a Christian, and his young children, one of whom, Karl Marx, as a result, grew up totally opposed to and disillusioned with religion because he knew the story of his father's conversion. He knew that his father had cast aside one religion for another, not because of any conviction, but simply in order to continue in his profession and in a well-paid job. So as Karl Marx grew older, he carried that bitterness toward religion with him. He moved to London. He ended up spending hours and hours and hours in the British Library there. And he developed his theory of Marxism, of communism, of the redistribution of wealth, and also the idea that religion is the opium of the people. Because of Karl Marx, there developed murderous communist systems under Lenin and Stalin and others in Russia, under Chairman Mao in China, in so many other countries of the world, including still in North Korea. And literally hundreds of millions of people would lose their life under that cruel system with its wars, with its persecutions, with its purges of dissidents, and of course with its gross mismanagement of national economies that resulted in the starvation of massive numbers of people. Millions of people died because Herschel Levi converted from Judaism to the Evangelical Church of Prussia in order to continue practicing as a lawyer. What that tells us is this, that following God and how we worship him is no light matter. It is vitally important. And if we will follow God with our heart, because he is God and he's worthy to be worshipped, then we will be a blessing to the people around us. But if we allow carnal, selfish considerations to determine how we practice our faith, the results can be absolutely catastrophic, as they were when Herschel Levi or Heinrich Marx set an example that led his son on a path that made him one of the most destructive people of the last 200 years. May God help us to walk with him with a pure heart and pure motives, and not to be drawn aside into any selfish approach to our faith. Please be blessed today, and join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.